A whistleblower and the governor's right-hand man are telling two different stories about a meeting they had after an investigation of the Virginia Parole Board. Tonight, John Burkett reports both sides, and he spoke with the man who once led the parole board.
Controversy continues to swirl around the office of the state inspector general's handling of several parole board investigations. Probes that the chief investigator turned whistleblower says found that former board chair Adrian Bennett and current chair Tanya Chapman violated the Virginia Constitution, state law, and board policies.
I have said, and I will continue to support an independent investigation.
Somebody up there is in charge of all this. Who is it that's just tampering this stuff down? And we can't have that either. There can't be that kind of filter out there.
One thing lawmakers on both sides of the aisle now agree on: an independent investigation is needed to figure out how and why several pages worth of scathing allegations were removed from the OSIG report concerning the release of Vincent Lamont Martin, who was serving life in prison for the murder of a Richmond police officer before the board set him free last year.
The topic of the parole decision of Vincent Martin is one that warrants discussion because it is one of, if not the most high-profile parole decisions in the history of the Commonwealth.
The OSIG investigation found that the parole board kept the victim's family and Richmond's prosecutor in the dark for too long regarding Martin's release. And a longer unreleased version of the report accused Bennett of not being impartial and found that she asked two colleagues to falsify a report. The Inspector General reports to Clark Mercer, Chief of Staff for Governor Ralph Northam. During a news conference Tuesday, Mercer said that he thought the official OSIG report on the Martin case was biased, which is why he says Inspector General Michael Westfall and other members of that agency were called to the governor's office last year.
We went into that meeting thinking that there was bias and there was lack of objectivity. We left that meeting knowing that there was bias and a lack of objectivity in that report. It has gone unreported on since last year, our very minimal reporting, but the parole board itself came out with a point-by-point rebuttal to that 6-page report, pointing out chapter and verse why they had concerns with OSIG's findings, why they did not think those were accurate. And while that may be mundane and very detailed-based, it is fact-based, and we need to deal with facts.
The whistleblower, senior OSIG investigator Jennifer Moschetti, says that meeting was more like a hostile interrogation and says she has submitted evidence to the House and Senate leadership that proves her findings were factual and unbiased. Meanwhile, a former parole board chairman is weighing in on the scandal.
We voted to release them on parole, then they were notified of that with a order for release, and that's how they got notified.
Bill Muse led the board during the McDonnell administration. He tells CBS 6 he does not want it to come across as Monday morning quarterbacking, but says based on what he is seeing, it's obvious the board made serious mistakes.
We would frequently be contacted by lawyers representing the inmate and who would claim that they didn't get their due process or there was some defect in the trial. And our general response was, we don't retry cases. All we're looking at is how this inmate has done while he's been locked up, the length of his sentence, what kind of citizen he would be if we let him go. Is he any sort of danger to the community?
Clark Mercer also brought up Moschetti's lawyer, Tim Anderson, during the press conference today, saying he suspects the lawsuit is politically motivated. Anderson says Mercer's comments are proof that he has done something right. Working for you outside this parole board tonight, John Burkett, CBS 6 News.